What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez blasts Eddie Hearn and calls him an absolute weasel. He said, "Why are they such a weasel?" said Teofimo. Eddie, Hearn, and Haney, when told that Hearn denied that Teofimo's management contacted him about a fight. "I got nobody else backing me," Teofimo said. "The fans know it's true about what I'm saying. There's no faking me. If you guys want to make the fight happen, I'm glad to make the fight happen. I want Devin Haney's face to beat up my hands." And everyone else out there in the 135-pound division. "I believe so," said Teofimo. When asked if he'll be able to make a fight between him and Haney and Hearn after he beats Lomachenko. "I think they're waiting for a big check. They can get it now. All the promoters are losing money right now, and all of the businesses are losing money right now. There are no sports right now. ESPN and DAZN are losing money. I don't think anybody wants to pay that much right now." He says, "Yeah, we have," said Lopez. "We have asked if he offered Devin Haney a fight. We may not have offered it directly to him because he's with Eddie Hearn and everything, but we did offer the fight and said, let's make the fight happen," said Teofimo. Wow. Look, this has been a back and forth thing for a while. Devin Haney already responded and said that he never received an offer from Teofimo's corner or team, right? And his team, they never received anything. Now, reading this, it seems like to me that Teofimo's team reached out to some people of Devin Haney without reaching out to Devin Haney's father himself or Eddie Hearn directly. So I don't know, again, who he was talking to when he's saying, yeah, we might have reached out to his people. You know, we may not have offered it directly to him because he's with Eddie Hearn and everything. You know, and it just makes me feel like, okay, if you offered it, who did you offer for? Did you go through the proper steps? And forget all the calling outs. Look, that's publicity. That's PR work. But when you're dealing with actual contracts that's sent over, it has to be sent to the promoter himself. Okay, even Deontay Wilder knew, hey, let me send this to Eddie Hearn because he knew Eddie Hearn ran Joshua's career, worked for Anthony Joshua, okay? Just like Teofimo Lopez and Bob Arum, okay? That's his promoter, knows that that's Devin Haney's promoter. He knows he should reach out to Eddie Hearn. So in the same article, it looks like, okay, well, if he knows we wanted to make the fight and people are losing money and yada, 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 you know, maybe they are looking for the Vasily Lomachenko fight. I will tell you this, though. I think, honestly, Teofimo Lopez, if that fight gets remade by Lomachenko, I think he's going to have to make a statement, okay? If he loses to Loma, he will be soon forgot about. He will lose his belt. He will lose his credibility and all that stuff if he gets beat by someone like Loma, okay? So that's still the fight we want to see, but that looks like it's not going to happen. And until he fights someone, until he either gets beat or he wins against someone credible like Lomachenko, that's the only way his stock is going to rise, or it could fall at the same time. Okay, so that's what it is. I feel that Teofimo and just calling Eddie Hearn a weasel, and really, I don't know why, actually, that he would call him a weasel when, let's see. So why not make these fights happen right now? I'm trying to do it, and I've talked to my manager. I've talked to him. Let's try to make these fights happen. I was like, did Eddie Hearn contact you? He said nope, and I said okay. And then I do what I do and talk my shit like I always do. Next thing I know, Eddie Hearn writes to me and everything, and I told him to speak to my manager in Top Rank, and we can make this fight happen. I still haven't heard from them, said Teofimo. Okay. So now he's saying a lot of people want a lot of money to fight him. Well, the question you ask yourself, if that's true, how much money was Vasily Lomachenko getting for fighting him? Regardless of what had happened or not, you know, I know with Teofimo, he's a good fighter. I think he has great power. I would love to see him against Gervonta Tank Davis. But again, like I told a guy today, a lot of these guys, he's half right. Okay, Teofimo's half right. A lot of these guys, if they were going to fight Lopez, they would want enough money for the risk because he is a belt holder, but at the same time, this guy here, unified, but this guy here hasn't had anyone on his name worth that. He has to have that premier, that signature name on his record. But people don't want to risk it because he is a strong and powerful fighter. Okay, so I think that not $10 million because, again, he needs to ask himself what Vasyl Lomachenko was earned or was what was agreed to earn when fighting him and getting that fight made that didn't happen because of the coronavirus. And that would answer your question about what he thinks people want to fight him. You see what I'm saying? But I do agree. I do think a lot of promoters are not trying to risk their fighters out there. They're not trying to risk Gervonta Tank Davis for fighting Teofimo Lopez because if Tank loses to Lopez from a guy from ESPN, mind you, the PBC Floyd Mayweather Promotions stock plummets. Okay? Plummets. Unless they can get a rematch and hope Gervonta Tank Davis can regain that. Right? But I don't see it happening, But I think Teofimo, he wants to fight these guys. He had a fight with Lomachenko, but of course, this travel ban is still up. So it's one of those things where now he does have to recall out Haney. He does have to ruffle feathers of Eddie Hearn and them to get this fight made. Talk his shit like he says. Make these fights and call out these fighters. And really, basically, Teofimo's going back to scratch, to the drawing board because he had that signature fight or that signature opportunity that was stripped from him by Mother Nature, right? Or the files of the earth. Okay, so... but calling Eddie a weasel in that, I think he's just frustrated because, he should tell Bob Arum to call Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? Not tell Eddie Hearn to contact his people. That just makes no sense. You see what I mean? He says, hey, Eddie, why don't you do this? Well, no, why don't you go and say, hey, I've talked to Eddie Hearn, so why don't you contact Eddie Hearn on my behalf? The job they're supposed to do, the job that they take a certain percentage of his check for. Okay? And when I say they, I'm talking about the management of Teofimo Lopez, Counterpunch. But again, he calls Eddie Hearn a weasel. You guys tell me what you think. He says people want $10 million to fight him. Is that true? Let me know. Leave it below in the comment section. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.